Hello, everybody. I am still, yet again, Price McKinney simply put, and yes, it's been a long time. I've had some major technical difficulties. My, I can't make it make sense. But YouTube is doing something. I have no clue. For example, I've just been determined. Even though I'm not actually posting videos, I stay in the lab, meaning I'm constantly looking at videos, talking to people, asking questions, researching the whole shebang to make this better. So a couple of my videos, I went back and looked at them. This was a couple of days ago actually, and it showed that I made the videos 53 years ago. Okay, so now I know my math is mathing because I just turned 50. I've got to be beyond a bad man to be able to do a video before I was even conceived. Um, long before birth. So maybe I'm just that good. I don't know, but showed 53 years ago. I can't even make that make sense. So anyway, I've had to do some things, make some adjustments, and just bite the bullet and do some things I really didn't want to do, but have to do, just for the sake of being able to continue doing this. So having said that, one of the things I've learned and picked up on recently is how there's a major shift in understanding what relationships are between the male and the female. Back in the day, when I say back in the day, I mean like my father's generation, his father's generation. It was the man work, the woman stay at home, take care of the kids, cook, clean. He goes to work sun up, sundown, and that's a done deal. Today it's not happening. You pretty much have to have two incomes just to function and survive. And having said that, because of the times that we're in now, everybody's busy, everybody's career oriented, looking for opportunities. You don't have people on jobs, staying for longevity. It's whatever's the next best opportunity. And I get it. I understand that. Now, I'm not cut from that cloth, but that is the times that we live in. We as men were taught and raised, hold everything in, suppress. Don't show emotions. You bust your knee up, split your head in two. But you better not cry. So we were taught to hold it in. Women, on the other hand, were taught to let it out. So I'm gonna give you a piece of my mind. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. I'm not holding back. I get it. So you have two totally different dynamics now of males and females who were brought up under this umbrella of you don't say nothing and you're gonna say everything. So men in general now have gotten to the point where I'm not finna deal with this. I'm not finna listen to her pop off and this, that, and the other, over any and everything. Women, on the other hand, are looking at us like this dude don't talk. He don't say anything. He doesn't show any emotion. Men weren't created to be that way. Women weren't created to be that way. So we've got to understand where that comes from and where it's come from. But then, just as equally as important, how do we come out of that? And it's a tree with a lot of branches, and we're going to dig into it and we're going to talk about it. But number one, and I did a video on this a while back, you have to be willing to communicate. That is the bottom line. If you don't talk to the person that you're involved with or looking to pursue, whatever you want to call it, you're not going to have a successful relationship. The foundation to that relationship is you have to be able to communicate. Within that communication, and hear me clearly, you have to be able to listen just as much as you talk. Don't be so gun-ho to get your point across. Be just there. I mean, that's fine if you do. Don't get me wrong. Get your point across, say what it is you got to say. But you also equally, just as much have to listen to what it is the other person has to say. And within your listening, you can't pre-record what your response is going to be before they finish saying what they're going to say. You know why? Because you haven't heard anything that they've said. And then that turns into a clash of the Titans, and that turns into, well, he don't listen to me. She don't listen. And then that rolls over into, I'm just not going to talk to him. So then we're back to ground zero. Nobody's communicating because nobody's willing to listen. Nobody wants to understand. Nobody wants to compromise. Nobody wants to sacrifice. It's I, me. You can't build a relationship like that. You have to build your relationship knowing this one thing. It's got to be team us. Does that mean you neglect yourself? Absolutely not. Does that mean you put yourself on the back burner and leave it? Absolutely not. You're a priority, and so is the other person. But again, that goes back into the communication. You have to understand what that person's needs are. You have to understand what your needs are. And you have to communicate that openly and honestly with that other person. You can't just assume that this is what they like because you think that's what they need. And you may be right to some degree, and you may be right in some cases. But it's better to ask and make certain that that's what the person wants and or needs versus just assume and you're missing the mark. So I wanted to bring that out. I wanted that to be kind of like, as crazy as it may sound, my reintroductory video, because I've been out of commission for a while. I've been juggling work hours and trying to figure out, talking to my media guru, what to do with my phone. As I said a while back, my phone storage ran out. Had to bite the bullet and just buy some more storage just to be able to do this. And I'm cool with that. Sometimes you got to do what you don't want to do until you can do what you want to do. Do what you got to do until you can do what you want to do. So having said that, I want to thank you all for your patience. Many of you all have asked, when are you going to do another video? Here it is. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for hanging in there with me, for your support. Again, I'm Price McKinney, Simply Put. Follow me on Instagram, Simply Put PM. Got a Facebook page, Simply Put with Price McKinney. And most importantly, still go to YouTube if you have not subscribed. And subscribe to my YouTube page. It's very simple. It's Price McKinney, Simply Put. So again, I'm not an expert. I just know